You're listening to the Almost F1 podcast, a show where fast cars meet faster, less informed opinions. I'm Jonathan, he's Gage, and together we break down Formula One with a mix of race day analysis, bad predictions, and the occasional hot take that probably won't age that well. Let's fucking go. What's up, bro?
What the fuck was that?
That was a stroke. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Almost F1 podcast. Hopefully we sound a little bit better to y'all. We got some microphones. Credit to Gage's wife. Shout out. First things first is... I don't know where to go first. Because I can't really ask you how your Christmas was. Or your New Year. I was fucking there. So, we could pretend to not know for the listeners, but I don't think that that's, goes along with our code of transparency that we have.
Oh, yeah.
Of being nothing but open, honest, transparent with our listeners, because we love them. And they pay our bills. Eventually. Not yet. One day. To get some serious stuff out of the way first so we can just kind of laugh and bullshit. I don't know how public GP and his wife wanted this whole situation with her breast cancer fight. But regardless, I just want to give a big shout out to him and her for that, because that's monumental to be battling that and what GP was still achieving with Red Bull this season. So,
and while being an engineer.
Yeah, it's that shit's rough on the strongest of people. So just a big shout out to both of them. The other semi-serious thing I wanted to address, and yes, guys, this episode is going to be slap-ass full of news and stories that are a few weeks old, because they've been sitting in my notes, and we took a long, well-deserved winter break. So, you're going to hear some regurgitated shit that you've already heard from other creators, but that's fine, because you're here for our personalities, right?
No.
Yeah, for sure. That's why they're here.
Yeah.
But the other serious thing that we can get out of the way and then move on is the online abuse. First off, just in general, I don't know what this culture is being bred now of, like, we got to go berate these drivers' pages when they make a mistake and
Who they don't know.
doing. It's funny to joke about it. This is just weeks. That's why I was saying it's going to be some old stuff from weeks ago when he had, like, his third crash at Suzuka or whatever. And Super Formula, I think it's Super Formula he's racing in. He,
Oh, that was a big-ass crash, I remember.
He got so much hate on that he had to do the same shit Kimmy did, where he blacked out his social media, took his profile picture down. And people are like, oh, he just took his picture down. It's so that people... Because what happens, another part of this toxic culture that I just don't fucking understand is that these people get online and they just see that it's popular to go leave comments in this driver's comments right now because they did this or that or the other, and the people comment don't even really understand the context of what's happening or what has already happened. They just know it's popular right now to go jump on Jack Doohan's comments. So they'll look him up and see his picture, and boom, they know exactly who to go to. So that's what they'll do. They'll black their social media pictures out for a while until it all settles down, whatever. And I think he's put it all back up now, his profile picture and everything back to normal. But
they'll just disable it.
But it's just ridiculous that even has to be like, thank God some of these guys have social media managers. I wouldn't have my own social media if I had to deal with all that.
Oh no.
Fuck no.
Oh no.
I may have one under a fake name nobody knows about.
I would just have a phone for contacts. That's it.
Dude, I swear to God, if I was that famous and that I'd have a fucking flip phone.
Bro.
I'd have a fucking flip phone.
I just need...
Fucking Kim Possible. Call me, text me if you want to reach me. Like, we can sort this shit out without having fucking messages on WhatsApp and LinkedIn and all this other shit. Fuck all that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know how we got from online abuse to that. But anyway, just stop. It's just childish. It's middle school behavior, and it has real effects on people. So let's maybe not. Like, Jack Doohan's dad is a fucking living MotoGP legend. Nobody would ever go run hate in his comments and shit. And I'm not saying that it makes Jack special in any kind of way. It's just the point of that, like, people are just doing it because it's popular to go do it right now.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm moving on from that. I had this thought earlier today. We no longer have the shroud of not knowing to preserve the image of these, like, sports icons, right? I got this idea because I heard somebody talking about Tom Brady and how you didn't know shit about Tom Brady, and Bill Belichick was another example. You didn't know shit about them, personal lives, anything.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you knew a little bit about Tom Brady's wife because she was like this supermodel thing or whatever the fuck, but stayed out of the public, didn't get wrapped up in social media, yada, yada, yada. He just won, and he was just a fucking titan. He's just a great. But now, he's like borderline becoming an influencer now that he's a team owner and he's retired as a quarterback, and
he does like a lot of shit with like.
I just wish we had more of the like I want them to kind of be strangers again. As much as we all crave all the social media content from all these people all the time, and we want more and want more and want more, I kind of wish we still had that, like, that mystery that you used to have about celebrities and heroes. Like, there was something about them that made you think they were, like, different from the rest of us. And that was kind of cool for, like Schumacher. People thought that he just, like, walked on water and just possessed, and he did, and just possessed something that nobody else did, and he did. But in that same breath, Michael will tell you that he's not anything special. He's not anything. And I think the truth is that the fucking, like, iconic people of our life are just normal as fuck.
Yeah, they're just.
And that kind of sucks. I kind of want them to not be normal. Like, I want them to be a little superhuman to me still. We don't have that anymore. Social media and cell phones and everything else. Now, granted, me and you were never alive in a lifetime where we didn't really have this stuff, but we caught just the tail end of it. Of, like, I'd say when we were, like, 12 to 15 is when we started to really see behind the scenes of our favorite athletes and rappers and singers and actors and whatever.
Yeah.
They kind of lose that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like the illusion of being untouchable. They're very touchable.
Yeah.
I could touch one now. They're very touchable.
Yeah, no, it would be like, I guess, like, meeting them would be like, I don't know, like, I guess, like,
a little watered down.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't like that. And, like, Max Verstappen is one of those people that I think still has a little bit of that, but not really. We know, even from now, he could have a whole private part of his life that nobody knows about, and he's perfectly entitled to that, and I hope he does. But there's not a lot out there about him that everybody doesn't already know.
No.
There's not much to him to know. He races. He likes to race. And when he's not racing, he likes to run a race team. Like,
if he's not doing that, he's on the sim.
He's on the sim. Like, it's not complicated with him. It's really not. I don't know. I'm just like, I wish we had a little bit of that untouchableness back. Because there's going to come a day, too, as Max ages and gets older, and he's going to hit a dip. He's going to hit a plateau where his skill and his talent either, like I said, plateaus or, God forbid, drops off. Now, granted, Carlos Sainz Sr. is still racing the Dakar at 65 and winning. So
okay, I thought you were going a different angle with that.
So, no, I'm just saying, I think the older Max gets, and you see how chill, he's 8 years old. He's my age.
Yeah.
And he has the chill factor of a fucking 50-year-old. He's not going to sweat much that he doesn't have to sweat. If he does have to sweat it, he'll only sweat it as long as he has to until it's handled, and he's not sweating anymore. He's very, very composed, and it's weird. it's weird.
Well, for it, and it's weird.
It is, because it's not common, and like I don't know. It's very. I'm jealous of it a little bit. Wish I had some of that. If I had half of the fucking like tenacity and follow through that these drivers do, I'd be so goddamn successful. I'm telling you, if I just had it. I have a theory.
What is your theory?
I have a theory that
That the what?
we touched on this the other day.
That huh? Refresh my memory.
That everything east. Make sure my direction. Yes, east. Everything east of the Mississippi River. So Mississippi, Tennessee, fucking Kentucky,
Yeah.
so on and so forth. Right? I don't know exactly where the Mississippi River routes when it gets that far up north, but Mississippi River splits to the Great Lakes. I think, if I'm remembering correctly, the Great Lakes run out into the ocean. The Mississippi River, when you trace it down south, dumps out into the Gulf of Mexico. That means the entire eastern seaboard is actually an island. It's surrounded on all sides by water and not connected by land.
Wait, where the fuck is this going? Hold on.
All right, I can show you. I can show you on a map. Come over to your mic. Look, I'll show you on a map. If you zoom out, right? Mississippi River runs right up there.
Yeah.
Not there. This way. Runs all the way up here.
Mm-hmm.
Into the Great Lakes.
Mm-hmm.
Which then, right here, run through Montreal, through Quebec, to the St. Lawrence River, and dumps out to the ocean.
Hmm.
So really, the entire eastern seaboard and that part of Canada are an island. And I'll fucking fight you about it.
No. No.
Nope. They're an island.
No.
It's an island.
No.
Nope. Nope. 10 toes down.
No.
It's an island.
You're fucking retarded.
Okay. Argue. Please present your argument.
For one,
I'll wait.
It would have to be like, for it to be an island, like
Surrounded on all sides by water.
surrounded by a large body of water.
That's not true. That's not the definition of an island. Florida's a peninsula, is it not? Does it matter the size of the body of water? Next.
Hey, fuck off.
I'll take your next explanation, please. I will debunk it rapidly. Surrounded. It's a... Alright, you know what? Let's just cut all the confusion out. Island. Oh, definition. A piece of land surrounded by water. That's definition 1. Oh, sorry. Definition 2 just says, a thing resembling an island, especially in being isolated, detached, or surrounded in some way. So, I return to my previous statement. The entire eastern seaboard and Canada are an island.
That's still cool bullshit.
And that...
that's
your geography lesson for the day. You can call bullshit all you want to. Factually, I'm right. No, I'm right.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
You're not right.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes.
Alright. On to the next thing, bitch.
Yeah, I think this one will get you going. We're really scrounging content, guys. There's not shit going on right now. We have a very, 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 very fucking cool guest coming on soon that I don't want to spill the beans on yet, just in case. But that'll kind of kick off the motorsport season again for us. But this is just us being stupid and hopefully putting content you guys like out. Who the fuck leaves the goddamn doors open at the drink coolers and gas stations? Now nobody gets a fucking cold drink. What the fuck is wrong with you, you selfish piece of shit? How fucking... What kind of person does that? I went into 7-Eleven the other day down the street. You know the one. I went to 7-Eleven down the street the other day. Whole goddamn store smelled like rotten ass fucking milk. Some people would chalk that up to the store not managing their refrigerator duties properly. I argue that and say I've went in there on multiple occasions. Now, it is still on the store because the fucking doors are supposed to have a thing that shuts them or whatever, and theirs don't. And if I were them by now, how much money I waste on fucking electricity, I'd buy the goddamn $40 worth of latches on Amazon and fix the god. Anyway, that's not the point. That's a whole separate art. But I've walked in there time on time on time on time again and find those goddamn refrigerator doors open there. And it's happened at the mobile down the street too, so I know it ain't just one. I bet if you took a sample size of 100 fucking times I've walked into a gas station, I bet 63.2 of them I've had to shut a fucking door. Even if I'm not getting a drink, I will walk to the back of the store and shut the door. Because I'm not an inconsiderate fuck.
And you know what's funny?
Who does that shit?
You know what's funny?
What?
I'm one of them people. Sometimes.
Yeah, you're a fucking dirty dog, too. You're a piece of shit. You're a fucking inconsiderate, low down, dirty Dan looking ass fucking scumbag.
No, like, I guess, like, when you're in a rush, like...
No. You being in a rush... No, fuck that. I'm stopping you now, because you being in a rush is not other people's problem. You being in a rush is not other people's fault.
Yeah, but when you think you closed the door, that's a different thing.
I'll give you that. You're notorious with doors and gates. You have fucking... This motherfucker, let me tell you, the first night they moved in, I mean, I was helping him move their shit in from the U-Haul truck. Maybe not the first night, it could have been the second or third, but it was like, as soon as they moved in, I'm helping them move his shit in to their apartment downstairs, and yada yada, one thing leads, my fucking dog is just running down the street, and bless his heart, he's like the kind of dogs that's so airheaded, they're just sweet, but there's nothing up there. There's nothing going on up there. He was just chasing sense and would not fucking come back to me for anything. So I have now done what I call gauge-proofed the gate. I had a spring that looked, I don't even know where I got the spring. It looked like it came off a trampoline. I hooked it into the fence, and now if he ever forgets to latch it, it doesn't matter.
Springs closed.
Because it pulls itself shut. I have gauge-proofed it. So I will say that. But I will also say it costs you an extra second and a half to hold your hand on there to make sure that door doesn't bounce back open. Because when you slam it, they bounce back open, do they not? For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. That whole shit.
I beg to differ still.
Yeah, if the magnets on the door are working properly, sure, you can slam it and it'll just grab it. But you could do a little preventative measure yourself and just take 1.5 seconds. Not even that long. I bet it's less than 1 second.
Yeah, but when you're like...
Okay, you can do it as you're walking away. Your body never has to stop moving.
Yeah.
How about that? You think about that? No, because you're an inconsiderate fuck who leaves the doors open at gas station refrigerators. What do you have to say for yourself? Yeah.
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 I do that.
That's what I thought.
Ah, man.
All right, now, this one pissed me off the other day. Not because, listen, I don't care if people don't know things. I don't know things. There's a bunch I don't know, believe it or not. I have a hard time believing it sometimes, I know. But there's things I don't know. I'm okay to admit that. What I do know, let me frame this question like this before I say anything else. What's the purpose of F1 Academy? Just roughly, just a vague, general idea of what the purpose is. Why they started it.
To give some of the girls a shot at F2 and F3 and F4.
Yeah, to climb the ladder and maybe make it to F1.
Yep.
If they're good enough. Yep. Not put them in because they're a woman and da-da-da, none of that shit. We're not playing that. We don't do that kind of commentary here. We're not doing that. But if they're good enough and they beat people out on track, and this is one of the very, very few sports where it can be co-ed and still be equal.
I've been wondering that too. Like, what's the
If
issue?
anything, this is
because they get 2 years and they're done.
It's not, and that's on purpose. That has a reason behind it, and
okay, well then why are we not seeing some of those that actually like won?
I agree, and here's I can tell you why, because this is kind of the comment where I got into on Instagram a little bit. On F1 Academies, they made a post about something, and I forget what my comment said, but it was something to the effect of, can we step these cars up a little bit quicker? They're really not even relevant to what you guys are trying to get them into. That's from, yes, I'm a Max Verstappen stan. That's who I quote the most because his quotes stick. But any of those drivers will tell you that F4 cars are not comparable enough. Max said it in that last interview. F4 is almost as much a waste of time as karting. F3 and up is where you learn the most. And that was all my comment basically said, was that, can we step them up a little closer to F3 or F2? I think I did say Super Formula, which was a bit of a stretch. But that'd be cool. And you wouldn't believe the hate I was met with in that, just for making a comment about, hey, this is great. And maybe my sentiment wasn't carried across in my comment. Because my comment just said something about stepping the cars up, whatever. But my sentiment behind it was that these girls are fully capable of more than this. And you're not... This is a good step. F1 Academy is a great step. But you're not pushing them hard enough. They need to be... Not that F4 isn't challenging. That's what F1 Academy is, F4.
Yeah.
Not that F4 isn't challenging. It is. And you have to climb the ranks. And I think of a certain age group and of a certain experience range, you should have to climb through certain ladders. But I just think that rung of the ladder can be integrated better to go from karting straight to F3. Am I speaking out of my ass?
Yeah, you're speaking out of your ass. Because, I mean...
Because when you
especially if you're growing
when you're thinking about a kid leaving karting, they're 15 or 16 already. They're not 10. They're 15 or 16 years old.
Yeah, but then
Max is in F1 at 17.
Yeah, but like
now Max is a special case. We can't compare anything to him, so let me retract that. What are you saying?
Besides, like the people that had the money to do it.
Yeah.
Some of them, or most of them, are doing sponsors.
Just get a little closer. It's like kind of far.
Oh.
Yeah, that's probably fine.
Like most of them are doing sponsors.
Well, you talking about F1 Academy?
Yeah.
So those sponsorship deals, that's the nice thing about F1 Academy, It's all put together beforehand for these girls. They do have to pay, I think they call it a driver fee. I think there is a flat rate they have to pay to have a seat. But what Susie Wolf did so ingeniously, F1 Academy was a thing before she got involved in it. It was an idea. And it had been put into practice very, very lightly. But Susie said when she showed up to the first race, or the first race that she showed up to, it was very minimal people there, nobody in the stands, no spectators, no eyes on any of the few sponsors that were on the cars. So the sponsors didn't really want to keep giving money if there's no eyes on their cars. So what Susie did, the motorsports ladder doesn't include women because you need more girls in karting. Just hold it. I don't know why you thought that was stable enough. God dang, you got me all fucked up. What was I saying? We were talking about sponsors and stuff. So yeah,
talking about Susie.
So Susie saw that it would need intervention from the big teams to have it gain any traction. So that's why you have, 2 or 3 Red Bull liveried cars and like 1 or 2 Williams liveried cars and stuff like that, and those affiliated sponsors that are already sponsored with those teams. Now, some of the teams have picked up new sponsors just for F1 Academy. This next year, there's one team that is literally ran and paid for by Lego. Yep.
What?
Yep. The whole livery is Lego. I'm 90% sure I remember this correctly. There's another team this year that's coming in the F1 Academy that is, I forget the livery, but it's a makeup company. It's a women's makeup company.
Ulta? No,
it's something I don't know. We'll see at some point. I forget. I don't even know if this is all accurate. But the point I was getting at was that Susie revolutionized the way the whole thing was being done. And she was like, it needs to be done on F1 weekends. That's the only way you'll get the eyes on the sponsors to get the sponsors to keep paying for the sponsorship, is to have it on F1 race weekends. Well, fuck, how do we schedule in their race week? And then she had to coordinate all that and work with the FIA on that. And it was a whole years-long process. So F1 Academy, even though we've known about it for, 3 or 4 years, we haven't because we've been following that long, but it's been around for 3 or 4 years, that it's still new as fuck. So they're still tweaking it and getting it figured out. But I guess my whole point was just that you were talking about, I forgot what my point was I was about to make, but you were talking about they only get 2 years in the seat. That's also for a reason. With F1 Academy being so much more accessible to young girls than some other racing series where they have to compete with male talent, that it's not that the male talent is that much better. It's simply a numbers game. If you have 100 dudes and 1 girl, the odds that she's the best one out of those 101 people, that's pretty slim. You're asking a lot. So you need more girls to get into it, to give more girls a chance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
there's been 4 seasons. Yeah.
Now if you have,
21.
let's say if you're just going to like European F4, just a regular European F4, and you're a girl, and you just won easy. You're leaning it. God, you're so, bro. Why are you so like just clumsy? You're just like easy on that wheel. But you need more girls to get more girls into F1 Academy. And that's what the 2-year limit on the available seat kind of does. Don't fucking do that when I'm trying to make fucking... Distracting me. I'm trying to talk. You think I can keep a train of thought when you're doing that? Don't play like you didn't just fucking do something.
I did.
I know. I saw you go. Fucking God. I've lost my whole train of thought. Fuck.
I didn't mean to.
God damn it. Anyway, I'm trying to make a serious point. You need more girls to get more girls. And the way that's achieved, the 2-year limit on the, how long you can stay in the seat in F1 Academy is so that they churn more young female talent through F1 Academy. Because that's how you find the talent, is you have to, and you're just simply not going to get that amount of young female drivers going through a normal F4, F3 championship.
Yeah.
Like Abby Pulling, she won last year. Now she's racing Formula E. That's a big step up. That's a big step. And just in terms of downforce alone, that's a big step up.
Oh,
so that's cool. And it's all on merit. It's none of this shit where anybody can say that, oh, well, she just got it because she was a... No, racing doesn't work that way. You can't... Danica Patrick tried it in NASCAR. Ask her how it went. You can try to fake it till you make it. You just won't make it. You'll just be one of the most hated personalities in the fucking sports media world, not just motor racing, just fucking sports media as a whole.
Yeah.
We're recording! It's alright. I got you. So yeah, and the hello. No, it's alright. I imagine you're busy as shit. That's no big deal. Say it again. Not much. Like I said, I texted you basically everything that I'll bring up or whatever, but when's the best time for you to, I mean, is Zoom or whatever better for you? Oh, my fault. I didn't tell you that. Yeah, probably like 15, 20 minutes. I don't need long. I was going to do it next Sunday. It's usually when we record. But I know it can be a tricky day for... Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, that's what I was about to ask next. What time range is better for you? All right, so we'll do it for 4 Eastern time. Perfect. Oh yeah, just text me an email. I'll send it over to you as soon as we're actually recording an episode right now. So as soon as we finish this, I'll send you the invite and stuff. Happy New Year, dude. I appreciate you coming on. This is really big for us. I appreciate it. Thanks, man. Sick. Cool. So I didn't make too much of a fool of myself on the voicemail if you want to call me back. For those of y'all that don't know, that was No, I'm gonna keep it low key. I'm gonna keep it anonymous for now.
Yeah, but we already said it a while ago though.
I'll bleep it out when I edit. I'll cut out the part where I say who it was. Anyway, for the listeners, that was the guest we're gonna have on next week, and I made a fucking fool out of myself earlier when I originally when I originally called him to set it up. And I was texting back and forth with him throughout the day. Not really throughout the day, just a couple times back and forth. And I know him through a mutual friend of mine and Gage's. And I've only met him once. And he was great. He was super, super cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
But when you only meet somebody once, there's certain boundaries you don't necessarily cross. So what I did was when I didn't get an answer, we scheduled the call for 5. I called at 4:58 because I didn't want it to be 5 o'clock and him call me because I didn't call first and have a bad look. I want to be punctual. And I call, it's ringing, and it's the off season for him. He's probably still setting up a sponsorship for next season, yada yada, whatever. And I'm such a fucking idiot, dude.
What'd you do?
I told him, I said, hey man, this is Jonathan. Call me back whenever you have time, or if you don't get time, that's cool. I texted you basically everything that you'll need to know. And then subconsciously, a part of me felt weird, just like, I don't know, just like going straight business and just being like, yeah, we'll set it up and blah, blah, blah. Appreciate you. Call me back. That felt weird to leave it off on such an impersonal note. So then I thought, after I said, don't feel the need to call me back if you don't have time. That's fine. Then I felt the need to throw in, unless you want to. Then you can call me back if you want to. We hadn't talked in a while. I didn't buy it. I'm not mad.
Yeah. I need to hold it.
Yeah. I'll match that.
Yeah.
Fuck. I knew that.
Yeah.
It gives you something to do with your hands, because you can move it around like this, and it's not really fucking with the audio that bad.
Yeah.
No. Way out here. That's good. But, so, yeah, I basically just said, unless you want to, like a fucking idiot. And this is nobody. Y'all need to keep in mind, this is nobody that I should feel nervous about talking to. I've met him in person, hung out on the boat with him for a whole afternoon. I mean, we chilling. Have no reason to feel any kind of nervousness talking to this guy, but for some reason, when I'm trying to line him up to come on here, I feel like I'm talking to Lewis Hamilton, and I'm fucking petrified. Dude, it's so fucking, and he would probably fucking hate it if, like, he knew that I felt like that now that I'm trying to get him on the podcast, because it shouldn't be any different than it was. But it is to me, because now I'm trying to actually do something. Before, we were just meeting, and now I feel bad even asking you to come on, because, like, I feel like I'm using you just by bringing you on.
Yeah.
I feel bad for that. I got to get over that. That's a weird feeling I didn't think I'd have, asking people to come on. It's like, especially him, because he's a real, I won't say what series he drives in, but he's a real race car driver. That's fucking cool. Like, he gets paid to drive race cars.
That is cool.
That's fucking cool.
That is cool.
I don't know, dude. I fucking choked on my whole foot. The whole fucking foot.
Unless you wanna.
He can come back. We can be best friends. It's just me, your friend Jonathan from Arkansas. I just know that's what he heard on the other end of his fucking voicemail. Alright, real quick, I'll finish off on the F1 Academy thing. Yes, the purpose is to climb young women, through the motorsports ladder. Now, if they leave F1 Academy and they go into GT racing, or they go into LMP racing, or they go into IMSA or WEC, or wherever they wind up,
Yeah.
if they end up in British touring cars, that's fucking awesome. It's an opportunity that may not have been there for them without F1 Academy.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point. Now, the whole point of the seat changeover is, like I said, to just get these girls through in a not a rapid rate. It's only get 2 years, so they get a year to learn and a year to execute. But the big message behind F1 Academy that Susie and other people go to when they're talking about it is a little girl goes to a go-kart track with her little brother. Big brother, little brother, whatever.
Yeah.
She wants to drive, she thinks. She gets an inkling, like a hint, that she might want to try one of these go-karts. But when she looks up and down the pits, it's just a bunch of boys that intimidate her and don't make her feel welcome. It doesn't seem like it's even a space where she can be.
Yeah.
She's probably not going to ask her parents about it. Or if she does, it'd be real timid, not real serious, and they won't take her. So the idea is that get more girls to karting tracks and get more girls into karting. Then they'll start going through the motorsports ladder much faster. F1 Academy is just another step to help speed that process up of getting more girls to karting tracks and stuff.
Like build them a little name.
But it's just like, and this is from Susie Wolf's mouth, not my own words. She wants girls to know that you can be pretty and you can be girly and you can like makeup and you can like all this and still like to drive fast cars and race. You can like, fairies and whatever little girls like and be a normal girl. You don't have to all of a sudden change and be a not normal girl just because you like race cars. That's kind of what she's trying to push. And I, like, for girls like Harper and Sophie and my nieces and stuff down in Arkansas, that's cool as shit to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, some fucking dickhead in the comments was just saying that I was basically the dumbest person alive for even thinking about putting these girls in faster cars. And I'm like, maybe not F2 or Super Formula, but like F3 or maybe a little turned down F3, like F3 cars with a turned down engine. Could we try something like that? Like, the downforce level just has to be somewhat relevant to what they're going to be dealing with. Even if they go into endurance racing, those cars have downforce. More so than an F4 car, I would bet. LMP cars, especially. So
I can say them is just fucking. I haven't drove one, but like fucking just on the
sim, yeah.
On our racing. Like,
oh, the F4's quick, dude. Like, I was listening to David Coulthard on Red Flags podcast today, and he was saying that an F4 car today, lap time, is faster, without a doubt, would be faster than a Formula 1 car in the 50s and 60s. Just because they had no downforce, they had no aerodynamics on them yet. They were basically Formula Fords with fucking fat-ass V10s and V12s in them. It's basically what they were before they started coming up with wings and stuff. So, to say F4 is not quick would be idiotic. It's quick. I don't have enough leg to stand on, I don't think, to really go make this argument with anybody but us here in this room. But I think an F3 car, I think you could just throw them in an F3 car.
Yeah.
Yes, there's going to be incidents. Yes, there'll be crashes. That's why you have the most stringent safety standards out of any motor racing series. I'm not saying let's crash these girls and bang the cars up and just see if they make it, but I'm saying, like, give them a little rope. Give them a little rope and see what to do with it.
Look up what our
F3 is about 380 horsepower.
It's not that bad if you think about it.
F4 is 160 to 180.
It's not that bad if you think about it. To give them like
Yes. But for perspective, and I know I'm arguing against my own point here that they should be in F3 cars, but I'm just playing devil's advocate for a second. 380 horsepower. My Ram 1500 had 365, is what it quoted from the factory. And it weighed almost 6,000 pounds. This has 15 more horsepower and weighs about 900 pounds.
Yeah, but the downforce kind of like...
No. That's not, nope. Because... Sorry. 1,484 pounds is what the FIA Formula 3 cars weigh. So, for perspective, my truck had a power-to-weight ratio of about 16.43 to 1. So, for every 16.43 pounds I had 1 horsepower, basically, right? What'd I say for the F3 cars? 1484 divided by 380 horsepower. That is 3.9 pounds per horsepower. So, you picture my truck moving 16 pounds per horsepower, and it would throw your head back in the seat. These are moving 4 pounds. We're going to round up and be generous. These are moving 4 pounds per horsepower.
Yeah, but
that moves at a fucking rapid rate, my guy.
That's what the training's for.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they should. I think they should be in, and even after seeing those numbers, I think they should be in regular F3 cars. I agree with you. It's a lot. But you don't. I mean, I'm trying to think of a good analogy for this.
It could be done.
It could absolutely be done. There's no reason it couldn't be done. But we don't have the position nor the authority to make it happen. So I guess we'll just sit here and jab our jaws about it.
Did you see Ferrari dropped what's his face? Zoe?
They didn't drop it. He left. Cadillac signed it.
Oh.
He left. That's why I texted you that I agree with him. I'd have ran out of Ferrari, let my fucking feet run on fire. Because you know what Fred Vasseur said about this year so far? We have hopes. We have hopes this year. Meanwhile, Red Bull and Mercedes are like, yeah, we found 15 extra horsepower through a compression limit hack.
Oh, yeah, by the way.
Ferrari's like, we are checking. Must be the water. Speaking of Hamilton's, though,
horsepower.
not the same Hamilton, but his dad, Anthony Hamilton.
I seen something about him the other day.
He's starting his own racing championship with turbo V8s and V10s. Single seater, open wheel racing.
Ooh.
Hybrid V8s and hybrid V10s. Yes, sir.
Ooh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, this brings me to my next point. I had a theory already, and Anthony Hamilton is supporting it. Let me scroll down to my theory real quick. Right here. Number 12 on my list was formed conspiracy theory about Toyota's turbo V8 being the crack in the hull of the ship that is the return of the V8 engine. Because, me running down my rabbit hole and my brain ran through it. Mind you, my brain ran down this rabbit hole in like 15 seconds. Like this was like bing, bang, bang, like a pinball machine.
Ooh.
Exactly.
Piece of candy.
Toyota started heavily investing in Haas last year. They have furthered that heavy investment with naming rights to the team. It's now TGR Haas Formula 1.
Yeah.
Toyota Gazoo Racing. TGR Haas Formula 1. Now, it is not a coincidence. I don't think we'll ever get away from the hybrid in Formula 1. I think we're always going to have that electrical element there now that it's there. I think it'll always be a part of it, which is fine. I don't hate it.
I mean, it's extra power.
Yeah, I'm not hating on it. So, it's not a coincidence that Toyota is investing heavily in Formula 1 because they tried to come into Formula 1 back in the mid-2000s, and they fell on their fucking face because they thought they could just come in and throw money at the problem until they realized it was more than that. It is money, but it's also personnel, it's tools at the factory, it's your CFD working right, it's your wind tunnel working right, it's all these different things. So now Toyota's trying to step in again, but much, much, much more measured. Now, engine manufacturers have a special carrot they can dangle in front of any racing series, be it IndyCar, NASCAR, Formula 1. Engine manufacturers have a little carrot they can dangle of them being engine manufacturers. Of being like, hey, you want us in here, don't you? This is really good for your sport. This is really good for your visibility. It's really good for your branding and ours. Come on, you know you want us. It's that whole deal. Such power and influence that I don't think it's coincidence that Toyota just designed and released a turbo hybrid V8. I don't think it's coincidence because now, with sustainable fuels becoming more and more popular, Toyota is going to make that turbo hybrid V8 available in their road cars. Formula One's number one policy, or whatever they like to abide by, is that they want to remain road relevant. That's why we have hybrids. That's why we have sustainable fuels. And so it can all be transferred to our road cars, right? The technology and the research and engineering can all be developed now. Hang on, I'm not done. Now, hang on. He's opening his mouth, everybody. Hang on. Now, listen. Now, Toyota would have such power and influence as a manufacturer in another 2 or 3 years with who knows how much more investment they're putting in Haas. They're going to have so much power and influence that it would not surprise me for them to have the leverage to go to the FIA and say, hey, we already did it. These other manufacturers can catch up. Come on. Let's go to V8s. And then who has the leading edge on the V8 era when it returns? Toyota. Because they've been developing it for 10 years before the FIA ever brought it back. The rule set's changing in 2030, and they haven't decided what they're changing about the rule set yet. We don't know what the chassis changes will be. We don't know what the engine changes will be. We don't know what the battery changes will be. We don't know what the fuel changes will be. We don't know anything about 2030 yet, or 2029. It could be either one of those years. We don't even know a definite year yet, right? Now, this conspiracy theory was very loose until Anthony Hamilton bolstered it by coming through with this fucking championship he's coming in now with. And I would not be surprised to see Toyota V8s in the backs of some of these cars. Mic drop. I'm predicting it now. Toyota is going to usher in the next V8 era. They're going to force it upon us, and we're going to say, yes, thank you, please more. And they're going to force it on us again, and we're going to say, yes, thank you, please more again, Daddy. And they're going to force it on us again, and we're going to say, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Fucked your whole brain up, didn't I? Because I'm right.
That was a good one.
I'm right. I'm telling you, that happened in like 30 seconds in my head at work. I was like, bing, bing, boom, boom. Oh, man. I was like, I better write this down before I forget. Thank God I did, because I would have.
Shit.
Should be all right. Anyway, all right, and we'll finish off on this.
We were talking about
Mercedes and Red Bull with their engine loophole. I was going to touch on it some more. Okay, that's fucking wrong. I wrote down here, Mercedes and Red Bull have already found a loophole in the engine regulations worth about 15 seconds per lap. That's not fucking true.
15 extra horsepower.
Yeah. I fucking mixed my numbers up. I wrote 15 horsepower here. I don't know why. Anyway.
It's 15 horsepower, and I think it's
3/10 a lap.
3 to 6/10.
Something like that. It's all estimation right now, but yeah. Now, do you know the Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man?
That motherfucker on Drury Lane. The fuck? Do you know how they're achieving these compression limits or no? Because if not, I can explain it. Because I think there's people that don't know.
What?
I had to have it explained to me like a dummy. Because I am one. Hence why I needed a dummy explanation. After I had said dummy explanation, what it is that the FIA, it runs, if I had to guess, probably hundreds, maybe over 1,000 tests on these cars about what's in regulation, what's in not, yada, yada, yada. They have to let the FIA test their engines for certain things. The compression limit being one of them. Now, if you've ever done a compression test on your road car, it's basically no different. You unscrew the part. You unscrew the spark plug. you screw in the compression tester, and it has a little hose that comes out to a little dial indicator. And when you turn the engine over, it'll tell you what pressure it got to inside that cylinder. And you'll know, okay, I had compression there. And if you have, I'm just going to say 10 psi for a simple number. I don't know if that's even if you have 10 psi on 7 cylinders, and then you have 6 psi on this cylinder, you know you have no compression in this cylinder for some reason or another. So that's all the FIA is doing. They're doing compression tests on these engines. Now, they're not doing it when the engines are up at full operational temperatures. They're doing it when the engines are at room temperature, and they're just turning them over by hand ever so slowly to see how much compression gets built up inside that cylinder.
Yeah.
What Red Bull and Mercedes have figured out, Red Bull, Ford, and Mercedes have figured out, is that they can use certain materials and certain engineering to get that compression limit inside the cylinder, which basically means you get if your compression's higher, it's a better explosion inside the cylinder, basically. You get more power and less power loss because when you have that combustion between what does seep by the piston rings and what might shoot out of the ports at whatever, you could lose a little bit of compression. But when everything heats up in there and seals off properly, and the metals, whatever the materials they decided to use that move correctly and whatever at certain temperatures, allows that compression limit to get that high. So the FIA is not testing it when they're running at full temperature. And the FIA, because of that, has said, sorry guys, they just found a loophole. They did nothing wrong here. The FIA knows about it. But Formula One is an engineering race as much as it is a motor race. Part of that is teams finding loopholes in the rules. It's not cheating. It's just not.
No.
It's loopholes. Now, if you go directly against what the rules say to gain an advantage, that's cheating. But if the rules don't say it, Adrian Newey says it's one of his favorite things to do when a new rule set comes out. He reads it twice. He reads it once to see what's in it, and he reads it a second time to see what's not in it. And whatever's not in it, he puts on the car. Essentially. Like, that's a very, very basic version of it, but that's what their job is, and that's part of why we love it. It's part of why we love this over other series.
Yeah. Is
that, like, every team's car, and if you don't know it, they all look identical.
They're all identical, but they're all...
The intricacies are different on every single car.
Yeah.
The wing on the Alpine may sit a couple millimeters higher or lower naturally than the one on the Sauber does, the Audi next year. Or the inlets on the wings may be slightly different but you can't see all that from a big bird's eye view. I don't know. I'm really excited for this season. This is going to we're going to see a lot of mechanical failures. We're going to see a lot of driver changes. We're going to see a lot of team swaps. I think this driver market this season is going to be fucking crazy. I think a lot of contracts go out this season. I think one of the McLaren boys steps away this year. All right, you know what? That's what we're doing. We're capping this episode off with bold predictions for the next year. Make 2. I have one. All right, and I only have one because I thought about this the other day, so it's a little bit unfair. I'm throwing you on the spot, but Williams will win a race with both cars. Alex and Carlos will win a race next year, which means I'm predicting Williams to win 2 races. That's my one. I gotta think of another one. I have another one.
What?
Cadillac gets a podium.
That's a bold prediction.
That's the same thing you said about Williams last year when I said Williams was going to get a podium. So that makes me feel better about my prediction.
Yeah, but, I mean...
Williams, we could tell what direction they were headed, so I had a little bit to base that off of.
A brand new
Cadillac,
team.
have nothing to base. Now, I will say Cadillac's been really impressive, at least in the optics. Like, they've had either Checo or their other simulator driver in the simulator almost like every other race. I think they would have them in the simulator, and they would simulate a whole race weekend. Free practice 1, free practice 2, free practice 3, quali, the race, and they would, in real time, use telemetry to figure out where they would be on the track in that actual race. So like Brazil this year, they were simulating, figuring out where they would be. You know, how competitive they'd be or not. Now, that does you no help, really, for next year in terms of the car. Because, A, when you're designing the simulator, you don't have a baseline to know what it should feel like. You know?
Yeah.
And you don't have a baseline to know what it should feel like.
The testing's running good, though.
But I like the fact that what they're doing is any operational kinks they would run into on the pit wall, they're trying to run into them now. So they run into those issues. It's the thing about management is that, like, it's not really about avoiding the issues. It's being ready to fucking take them on. So, like, Cadillac was just like, all right, we're going to hit these roadblocks. Let's hit them before we actually start racing. Let's hit them in simulation. Let's not hit them in real time. So then if we do hit them in real time, it's not going to be nearly as bad as it would be if we had never hit that issue before.
Yeah.
You know, it may still be bad, but it may not. It may, you know, it may result in being out of the points versus a DNF.
Yeah.
You know, something like that. So I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic about Cadillac, but I am predicting a podium. Now you fucked up and you let me give both of mine, so now you got to rattle off two.
Alright. So mine would be the opposite. I would go with Ferrari. Both cars winning on.
Oh, if you're going Ferrari, both cars win a race.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if Williams wins twice with Carlos and Ferrari wins twice with Lewis, we both lose. Because we said both cars. Okay, we need to be clear about that now. So when we come back to this in a year, we're not like, no, that's not what we said.
I mean, we
got the tape. We got the tape. We got the tape.
Run this shit back.
Run that shit back. But
I mean,
so now you can. I'm giving you a chance to change your prediction now if you want to. You can just change it to 2 Ferrari wins next year. Doesn't have to be both cars. Can be one car.
Well,
okay.
Because I think Charles is
really fucking good. I think Lewis comes to grips next year.
Yeah.
I don't think Charles needs to come to grips. I think Charles just needs a decent car. I think Lewis does come to grips next year, and I hope he has a decent car. I think now that Lewis is out of the ground effect era, that's where his dominance slipped off, was in the ground effect era from like 2022 and on.
Yeah.
Like, after 2021, and people write it off to him losing in 2021. It was like a mental slump. And it could have been. It could have been a big part of it. But Mercedes fucked up the concept in 2022. That year was a write-off. 2023, I don't know exactly how that year went. It was mid. 23 and 24 were very fucking mid for Mercedes. And I think George Russell beat Lewis both years. I'm not mistaken. I know he beat him in 24 by a couple points.
No.
I don't know if he beat him in 23.
Did he?
Did he? Where?
Did I?
Where's Diddy? Get him away from me! Hang on, let me see if I can pull the standings up from a couple years ago. Hopefully the app does that. Yes, 2025 season. 2023 season driver standings. Oh, shit, I was way wrong. 2023, Lewis smoked George. Lewis had 234 points. George had 175.
Yeah.
Now, 2024, was it closer?
Put some respect.
Okay, George beat him by 22 points last year. So not a huge gap. But my whole point being, that's when Lewis's dip started. Was his whole dip started in the ground effect era. And people wrote it off to, like, the mental struggle from losing to Max in the way he did. Through, like, the FIA being... I'm a Max fan, but I'll agree. That FIA call was a little fucking ridiculous.
You don't say.
Now, if you go back and follow every little loophole that they did, technically they were allowed to do what they did. Because in the rule book...
Technically, you can kiss my ass.
In the rule book... I'm not vouching for it. I'm not saying it was right. I'm just saying what happened. In the rule book, it said, even aside from the normal safety car procedures, it said that ultimately the race director had full discretion to resume the race as he saw fit, or something to that degree, and that's what they used to. Anyway, we're done living in the past.
Yeah.
All right, so both cars win a race with Ferrari. Next.
Audi finishes within the top 5.
Other constructors? Like at the end of the year?
Top 5 of, yeah.
That's pretty bold. I'm not even predicting Cadillac to do that. If I had to make a real prediction for Cadillac to finish next year, I'd say 7th. And that's being optimistic.
I think either top 5 or top 6.
Yeah. Audi could do it. Because Audi has the fortune of... They've slowly integrated with Sauber over the past couple of years.
Yeah.
And made it a pretty smooth transition. And they're taking over a team that's already standing. They already have a factory. They already have a workflow they've been doing for years. They just got to put different uniforms on.
Yeah.
Most people in the factory's got to put a different shirt on.
Yeah.
It's not that different. So I think Audi will have a huge leg up on Cadillac in that aspect. And Audi's coming in as their own engine supplier, too. I forget that. That's a big fucking deal. Nobody's talking about Audi's engine. Why? Hang on. Why is nobody talking about Audi's engine?
That's why...
We ain't heard shit about it.
That's why I at least predict them to finish.
I just realized we ain't heard a fucking... Hey, you fucking Germans. Let me see your engine. Do you have the papers for this engine? Are you hiding enemies of the state? Damn good deal. I take that deal. Any of y'all seen Inglourious Basterds, you'll get those two references.
That sounded racist as fuck.
It's alright. It's just Germans.
The Germans!
The goddamn Germans! No, dude. What fucking...
We're taking this out.
No, it's fine. I don't care about that.
Fuck!
No, dude. That's not cancelable. We're good. I can just like I can say, it is different. You know why it's different? I can legitimately, I can tell you why it's different. You can't go around saying, "Oh, the fucking Japanese, oh, the fucking Chinese, oh, the fucking this, oh, the." But if it's a white country, I'm not bullshitting you. If it's a white country, France, that's a goddamn France. Nobody thinks anything about that. Germany, the fucking Germans. Nobody thinks anything about it. Russia. Goddamn Russians. Anything about that? Fucking Finland. Those Finn bastards. Nobody thinks shit about that. Voucher would laugh at that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think we found the loophole. It's okay to be racist if it's against a white country. I think white on white hate is okay. I do. I don't think that's cancelable. Anyway. Well, if y'all stuck around this long, then your brains are twice as rotted as ours are. So we appreciate y'all, genuinely. And come back next week for a super, super special guest. No, I'm just kidding. In all seriousness, we appreciate you guys. This, I guess, will be officially the first episode of Season 2. So, hang around this year. Let's see what the season brings us. We'll see y'all next time. Love you guys.